It's time for Herenda's Agenda, Bill's reflections on sports and life.
Joyce Randolph was born in Detroit before moving to New York City, embarking upon an epic acting career that included playing the role of Trixie Norton on the iconic and venerable TV show The Honeymooners. Joyce and her cast members, including Art Carney, who played her husband, sewer worker Ed Norton, Audrey Meadows, who portrayed Alice Kramden, and Jackie Gleason, who was Ralph Kramden, a bus driver, have delighted, entertained, and produced enduring laughter for audiences since the mid-'50s who have embraced and loved the Kramdens and the Nortons, friends and neighbors from Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. Joyce, welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to talk to you.
Absolutely. Same here. And of course, Joyce, these are tough times due to COVID-19, which I think reinforces how entertainment, from music to sports to your chosen profession of acting, provides such a great escape for us all. How do you see entertainment's role in society in difficult times like these?
Well, I'm sure all entertainment is very important now because we're all so upset and so nervous and it's just miserable. So it's good to have something to watch or to listen to, and it's all very important.
Absolutely. And let's go back, Joyce. What was your childhood like in Detroit?
A very normal, nice childhood in suburban Detroit, and things were very, very lovely in those days. Everything was quiet and serene, and we didn't seem to have any problems.
And did you always know you wanted to be an actress? When did that spark come to you?
I just always wanted to act in all the school plays. It was starting with first and second grade. I was always chosen to be in them because I guess I just, wanted to do that so much, and they all knew it, and people put me in things, and so growing up in schools, I did lots of acting.
Terrific. And the move from Michigan to New York City, what was that like? How did you decide to make that move?
Well, I was already in show business because at the Schubert Lafayette Theater in Detroit, New York producers were bringing in Broadway shows that had been big hits, and they were putting them on, in the hinterland. And through the Catholic Theater of Detroit, I got cast in Stage Door, which was going to run at the Schubert Lafayette. And I got one of the roles, and we had a good run for about 4 weeks. So the producers decided to try Chicago. And we all were packed up and were sent to Chicago, and we lasted only 2 weeks there. The critics were very tough, I think. And I went back home, and one of the other girls came too, and she wanted to go to New York too. So after home a few days, we told our parents we're going to New York. And one of the gentlemen from the cast, a lovely, sweet guy, he had a sister in Detroit, so he had come to Detroit too. And he took us by our hands and took us to New York on the overnight train, and it was just wonderful. That's what we wanted. We wanted to get to the big city.
And in New York, Joyce, how long did it take to get what you would characterize your first big break?
Well, the same producer who had done Stage Door in Detroit was sending out a company of A.B.'s Irish Rose, which was a famous old play. And he hired me to be the understudy to Rosemary in it, the understudy, and to help the stage manager, help the assistant stage manager, and so I had to do all those things in the company, and it was a big hit. A.B.'s Irish Rose was a famous old play, and we toured in places. We stayed in places like Detroit, so I was right at home for a month. And Pittsburgh and Cleveland and all over. I had a year's tour with that, which was wonderful because I had my union card and made a little money, and I was very lucky in the beginning.
And the role of Trixie Norton, how did that come to be?
Oh, well, I'd been doing stage work and television, and I got called to do a commercial. I did the commercial, and it went over very well. This was on the local channel. Channel 5 was local in those days. Then the casting director there had been told that the role of Trixie was going to come up in the Honeymooners. There hadn't been any Trixie at first, and so he sent me in to read for that. No, first he sent me in to read for a little tiny skit that Jackie had written, a serious skit, and I did that with Jackie. It was very brief, and we did it on the show, and it just lay there. People didn't know what to think of this serious skit on a comedy show, but I guess Gleason liked it, because next week, or a few weeks later, when the role of first Trixie came up, he said to the casting guy, "Get me that serious actress." He didn't remember my name, but he knew I was the serious actress that had been with him briefly. And they just threw me into Trixie like that, and stayed with it. No one complained. I guess I was plenty good enough for it.
Of course, you made a big impact. And Joy, full disclosure, the impact of the show on my family and so many others, my brothers, our friends, we've memorized the lines. We use them verbatim throughout life when they're most germane. The episode from the previous evening of the Honeymooners, that was the first topic of discussion at school, and then sharing them with my wife and daughters. When you did the show, you had a live audience. It was live TV. You got that.
Yep, it was live, all the time live. He wouldn't work on film.
And did you know that it would have this type of impact?
No, we had no idea, none.
It's amazing, really, but obviously the character's so relatable, and everything from the writing to the acting, the way you guys delivered the lines. Joyce, would it be okay to play a clip? I'd love to play a clip and just get your reaction.
Sure.
And this is a clip from the episode Unconventional Behavior, and this is the Honeymooners back in the mid-'50s on CBS.
By the way, what is for supper?
Chopped meat.
Oh.
Oh, and that reminds me, Ed.
What?
You know that young Krause kid that's working downstairs for his father now?
Yeah?
Boy, has he got some nerve. I walked in there today and asked him, how much is your chopped meat?
Yeah.
And you know what he said?
What?
58 cents a pound. Sweetie pie.
Boy, oh boy, you're not going in that shop again. I don't blame you for getting mad. What a nerve. 58 cents a pound for chopped meat.
And I was referring to him calling me sweetie pie.
Well, what do you want him to call you? Lover lips? He hardly knows you.
Ed.
So, Joyce, just your thoughts on that particular scene with, of course, the legendary Art Carney.
Well, it played very well, and I was happy with it, and everybody liked it a lot.
That's for sure. And what are some of your favorite memories from doing the show?
Oh dear, it was such a big part of my life. I was always very happy if I had more than 5 or 6 lines in a show. It became my favorite show if I had more to do.
Sure. And how did you manage rehearsals? Because Jackie Gleason wasn't big on preparation. Is that right?
Absolutely right. We had almost no rehearsal. You had to be good. You had to know what you were doing. The scripts were delivered to our homes on Thursday night. We went into the office on Friday to read what the changes that Jackie had made in the script. We didn't see him, but we did it, and a little bit, and then we came to rehearsal at noon on Saturday, and we rehearsed 1 or 2 times, and that was it. We had to go on live that night at 8 o'clock.
And of the classic 39 episodes, how about this one, Joyce? I'm not sure if you can recall, but the Young at Heart episode, he dances the Hucklebuck, and then you guys are at the roller rink. Of course, he's on skates. He goes and gets the coffee and eventually spills it all over the place. Now, these are intricate moves. Did he rehearse even that, or did he just...
Never. We had no rehearsal. We had no idea what he could do on skates. It was horribly nervous that night, but it turned out okay.
That is great. And then Head of the House episode, when you and Alice surreptitiously replace the wine with grape juice, and later Norton invokes a great line to Ralph before they toast, "Pour away, mine host." Do you know if it was grape juice or real wine that they drank in that episode?
No, it wouldn't have been real wine. No. It was grape juice.
I've always wondered that. I'm sure there are other fans like me that probably have wondered about that, and so many other little tidbits. But what was it like working with Audrey Meadows, Art Carney, and Jackie Gleason, and what were they like even off screen?
Well, they were all wonderful people, but as I say, when you don't have many rehearsals, you don't get to know people very well. So we didn't have lunches together, you didn't know these people very well. It's amazing.
And Joyce, what's ironic about that is that you guys just got along so swimmingly on the show, best of pals and neighbors, and of course the ups and downs that we all have. Even the episode, the Safety Award, when Ralph is going to accept the Bus Driver of the Year award, and by happenstance, you and Alice have the same dress on, and you've got to settle. I don't want to, spoiler alert, I don't want to tell anyone how the episode ends, but it's amazing how you were able to play off of each other so well.
Well, we were both good actresses. We did the lines like the script said, and it turned out very well. Those dresses were very funny.
Oh, it was classic. And some of the other actors and characters, I'd be remiss not to mention them. Like George Petrie and Frank Martin had recurring roles playing so many different characters. Ethel Owen as Alice's mom, and of course as Ralph's adversarial mother-in-law. They were so tremendous, and I have to ask you what, in your opinion, they brought to the show.
Oh, their own personalities and their greatness and their experience. They were all experienced people who knew what they were doing. In one of the early shows, George Petrie picked up a line. Jackie started to say something that maybe wasn't right, or wasn't. He quickly stepped in and covered it all up. And at the end of the show, Jackie said to the casting guy, "Keep him on the show." So that's why George Petrie was on so many times.
And as you and your fellow actors deliver your lines in exquisite fashion with the timing, the humor, the writing was sublime. You mentioned getting those scripts on Thursday, and we know if there were more lines for Trixie, you may have more affinity for that script, as you said. But how did it feel getting those delivered to your apartment? How did that feel when you got that script and those pages in your hands?
Felt very good, I guess. I just knew I had a job, and that we'd have to go in on Friday briefly, and then on Saturday, and that we would do it live that night. It was scary, but it was good.
And how about that sensation, just that live TV? How did you manage that? Like you said, the rehearsals were limited, if that, and it was live. And really, Joyce, watching the show, to me, it's amazing how there are so few blunders. And to me, again, that's just another testament of how professional you and the entire cast and crew were.
Yeah, that's true. We were all professionals, and we knew how to keep going, keep talking,
That's right. You could carry it, and that spontaneity. And is that why Gleason kind of rejected rehearsal? I think Frank Sinatra was similar. He did not like to rehearse. And was it because that he thought perhaps you would lose spontaneity, or was there?
Yeah, he wanted it to be very spontaneous, and he didn't like to rehearse anyhow. So it worked out very well. We were spontaneous.
And if the Honeymooners are on, and you're channel surfing, do you stop and watch? Will you look in on it even today?
Yes, I do.
And so do I, and so many of us. It's impossible. You just get stuck there. And of course, we record them when they're on. I think everyone, if you dig around, you'll find the DVDs. I got those as a gift on a Father's Day to have the classic 39 episodes. And Joyce, how about entertainment today? What advice would you pass along for current actors or folks that are looking to get into the business?
Oh, I don't know. It's different for everybody, but try to get as much experience as you can, by studying and you get jobs that don't even pay, maybe, but you work. And it's hard to tell people what to do because it's a tough business.
It certainly is. It's tough, and also so rewarding at the same time. And I guess it's like anything else, Joyce, right? You just have to take it one day at a time and believe in yourself. Like you said, prepare, and then hope that perhaps, the right opportunity presents itself. And then when it does, I would imagine just do your best.
That's true. You said it.
Well, Joyce Randolph, thank you for the indelible impact you've made on so many lives through your work. You, along with your fellow cast members, writers, and crew, have brought so much joy, laughter, and happiness to us all, and we're forever grateful for your artistic contribution to society. It was an absolute pleasure having you on. Stay safe and be well, and maybe I'll do some more homework, and we can invite you back and even peel the onion on the Honeymooners a bit more down the road.
Yes, that would be fine.
Thank you so much, Joyce.
Thank you, dear.
You can follow Bill on Twitter at Bill Herenda.